Majic 102.1, it's the Madd Hatta, the all-new Madd Hatta Show, and I'm talking to this incredible human being, in my opinion. I don't know how he feels about himself, but for me, he's incredible. It's Kountry Wayne in the building. Everybody in here, round of applause. Kountry Wayne is in the building.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Listen, here's what I love about your story. I know everybody's infatuated with the kids. They're infatuated with relationships. You know what I'm really infatuated about when it comes to your story? One, the man that does it all and creates something out of nothing, and he's figured it out. And then the man who is so dedicated to family. To me, that's where the true story is. All the other stuff you did, the ancillary is what I like to call it, is cool. It makes the story. But the true part of the man is, I'm going to take care of these kids. I'm going to take care of these women. I'm going to take care of my family. So really, I want to go back to that. Where in you was that instilled that my goal in life is to make sure my family is straight and to make sure my kids are straight? Because, you know, especially when it comes to people that look like us, you know, when they fathers or men that have children, the first story they think of, he don't take care of his. He don't take care of his family. Or he's some ball player. He got a lot. He took care of mama, but the rest of the family, good luck to him. But it was very important to you to make sure the family and everybody was straight before you even got to the place where you wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Salute. But let's start there.
Man, I feel like it was second nature, man. I feel like, to point, especially being sober, I think when you sober, you don't escape nothing. So it's like, it's hard to be up, but the people that your real brothers and sisters, you got blood, blood in the same vein. I mean, the same blood in your veins that you grew up with. They at a whole different financial level than you. Right. So you got to find that balance, because I couldn't sleep. I'm like, man, I got to bring sis them. I got to get bro them.
But you could have easily, some people go make it, they go back home, break off a little bit of bread. It was important for you to, how can I employ these people? And I think it's brilliant, because not only do you employ them, there's tax benefits with that. Yeah. It ain't me just giving y'all bread. It's y'all working for y'all bread.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's benefits to y'all getting bread, and there's benefits to me giving y'all the bread too. I don't think when people hear your story, they seeing, I like the business aspects of making money. So it's always interesting to me when a brother is doing these things from a business-minded perspective, but they weren't necessarily taught formally like some other people get taught. So when you do it, I find it to be interesting. Like, where did he learn, not the giving part, but, if I give this to them, let me put them like this and then make this a business and then they can get a salary. And where did you learn that?
Just listen to my accountant. Like, you got to hire people. I'm like, well, shit, if I'm going to hire somebody, I'm going to hire my family first. Right. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to train them. If they don't know, I'm going to spend the time to train them. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the research, because I figured, man, you got to hire people to grow a business anyway. So it's best to, to me, it was just, my family was right there. It made sense, because I say, if I hire these people, I'm still going to have to take this money and give it to my family. But if I hire my family, they'll help generate and support me getting money. So it was just, to me, it was just common sense. Because if not, if you get some money, you never going to feel right if the people closest to you ain't living. They ain't got to live like you live, but like the basics. If you can feel right after that, you ain't connected to your family like you think.
Who instilled that in you? Where does it come from? Because some things can't be taught. Like, I know that it's important to give back to my family. I want them on equal footing with me. They can't be left behind. Where does it come from? Those are the parts of your story that's interesting to me.
I think it's the morals, man. I think it's just the morals and, just growing up in the streets and seeing things. I stand on something. It's just like every little thing. Like, I'm going to do that. Like I told bro, he said, show sold out. Why I'm going to do the radio interview? I said, man, because, when I do movies and stuff, it's business. I want to come back through these places. I don't want to come back through just when I need people. So it's always, to me, it just be, I was always a business person, and I think forward. I'm thinking in the end, man, if you make it and your family ain't there, you around all these strangers, I'd rather for my family to get me than a stranger.
You got to choose.
Yeah, So I just think it was instilled of just growing up from the country, man. I don't want my sisters to see me on TV, but they dying there barely making it, and I'm just sending $1,000 every once in a while. No, I want
everybody.
I want everybody, a village. Back in the day, we had all the family to the house. So I just love family. So to me, it's common sense. I think the world make us busy enough to make us try to send us out here separately. and get lost and everybody living separate lives, but nobody never really happy until they family. You go to a comedy show, you gonna laugh. But ain't nothing like laughing with your cousin about something that happened. Boy, you remember when boy Uncle got there? You know what I'm saying? Auntie such and such slapped Uncle this and that. So it's just like, everybody love family, but I think the world make us forget that. And I really credit it to, first of all, God. And I think about me staying sober my whole life and never escaping.
He said stay sober.
Cause for real, I think when people, a drink is the cheapest vacation. So I just think people, when you sober, you can't, it won't let you wake up every morning, man. Life is in your face.
Yes, sir.
You can't run from it. So it's like, I got to figure out how to work this out my way because I can't escape. So I just think everybody truly love their family. The world just make you forget about them. And I couldn't forget, Mike. I couldn't sleep.
Yes, sir. And it's not only your family that loves you. What do you think it is about you that so many, like you said, your show is sold out tonight. Your comedy went a different route than, some people that hit the stage, they do this and they went to New York and they went to LA. You organically worked your base right from where you are. And these people, they gravitated towards you and they embrace you. Hardcore, followers online, digitally, socially, whatever. What is it about Kountry Wayne why you think that they gravitated to you so heavy?
I think they came to me because I got a gift. I make people laugh naturally. But they stayed because I remind people of their family. I'm like, Wayne, either your cousin, your uncle, your homeboy, your brother. I reminded black people of what we are. That boy right there, family morals. I ain't, I wear the fly stuff, but I ain't dressed. I ain't put on all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He looked like a country. He looked like, he talked like us. I think I just reminded people of playing spades and just chilling. The cookout. And that's what happened with Wayne. When it came to Kountry Wayne brand, people like, bro, he not even a celebrity for real. Like, is he a celebrity? He got famous.
Right.
But just everybody still feel like Wayne just, damn.
But do you feel like a celebrity? Because it seems to me you've always been a popular person.
Yeah,
everybody always knew who you were.
Yeah. I always been popular, man. But I'm not I don't do the same actions that these new celebrities. They try to be celebrities. I was naturally popular in school. I was naturally me. So I feel the connection off. It's like when I put out content, I know what the fans or the people gonna feel like. I don't really feel like no celebrity. I feel like a lot of people just know me. I know I'm popping. and I've been popping since kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting the baddest. I always had me some paper. I've been whatever girls I always had the baddest women and all that. And I wasn't even trying to. I was just sneaking. I was sneaking and hitting them. So I wasn't even trying to show out. I just was always what celebrities try to be. So I think it's me. It was a more organic and natural process. Cause I went from being my mama was the most popular in school. My uncles was most popular in the town. My baby mama's homecoming queen. So it was just a natural progression. So when I got here,
regular.
It ain't nothing. it really don't feel. I don't feel what how other celebrities. I took every picture that I been asked to take, and it's been a lot of pictures, man. But it ain't that serious, dog. Celebrity ain't better than nobody. That's the part, dog. Like most celebrities ain't even happy. That's why they act such like, something wrong. If you got all that money, and I know somebody who had a cookout, probably gonna have a cookout this weekend. They're only making $30,000 a year, but they're gonna be having a ball of their life. And there's people out there with $30 million, stressed,
unhappy
because that celebrity word, bro. Ain't nobody bigger than God, and ain't nobody. I ain't no better than the man under the bridge. I don't know how he got on that bridge, but I did some things to get on there too. I just thank God I ain't, but I'm no better than him.
I think there's something in you where you knew that you were going to make it. Or am I wrong? It seems like you don't know that, you really don't know that you're going to take these steps to get there, but you take these steps and you do get there. It appears to me, though, truthfully, that you knew that this was going to work for Wayne. When did that happen? When did you know, oh yeah, I'm on to it now?
To my comedy?
Yeah, because here's a guy, you started off doing your thing, try to be a regular guy, turned it, always had some street connection, if you know what I mean, with the family, wanted to be a rapper. You decided because you said there's some things you saw that, you know what, I ain't gonna rap like him, so maybe I need to do something else. You was a businessman, and then one day you said, you know what, I'm gonna just try comedy. Like, when you was 13, you wasn't thinking comedy. How do you know that you're gonna take these steps and then be bold enough to take the step and it actually starts to work?
When I seen people start doing the Vines and stuff, I knew I was gonna be.
Boy, he went back to Vine.
I knew too. When I got in comedy, I knew I was gonna take over because I never had to pick on nobody to be funny. And see, it's two different. I knew I was funnier than everybody. I ain't care what the fans said. I ain't care what the people said. I was so funny, I don't even have to curse. Cause I always, when I was in school, I could always make somebody laugh by making them think. And I know those comedians end up with the most money. and I just was like, cause some people think they funny, but if you talking about somebody to be funny, you ain't funny. That's, if you got to shoot somebody to be gangster, you ain't gangster. A gangster gonna get there, tell all the cousins, let's get y'all income tax up, and let's go get this convenience store. Let's go get this. That's gangster. That means your mind. The more violent you got to be, the less you losing your mind. I went through the streets without a pistol. You know, everybody had a gun except for me, but I already knew when this comedy thing jumped out, I'm finna kill it.
How? Why?
Because everybody was being silly. Everybody talking about our own people. I talk about my family. You would never get a video of me really talking about people. It was about situations when you get your taxes, and I acted out. So I'm like, end of the day, that's not gonna last. So you can't keep hurting people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? You know, people human still, because nobody ain't gonna keep letting you hurt their feelings either. Especially you gotta go around to these cities. So I just knew I'm gonna put the person who put the most time in the art and love the art gonna get the biggest reward. And
you embrace social media too. I think you embraced it at a time when a lot of us, me included, I didn't dig it, I didn't understand it, and I was refusing to understand it. But for whatever reason, it seemed like you embraced it, and you knew that would be the platform for you to use to get you to this level. I'm really curious. Out of all the interviews that I watched you, and I was always like, I want to know how he know that this was getting ready to pop off before everybody started becoming these social media celebrities. It's like you knew that this was coming. Even there's some interviews like, hey man, let's do this together. Nah, get out of here.
Yeah.
You like, oh, I'll just do my thing. And it worked. How did you know? I want to know what was in you that said, I see this, the dawning of the horizon. I see it. Well, I'm going to be there.
Well, the first quarter when I started 2014, you know, I used to throw parties. And I had a nightclub. So, remember we used to have to give out flyers.
Yeah.
And you could only hit your region. But if I could put up a video and it hit Houston, Texas, and I'm in Millen, Georgia, I was like, oh. I was taking it more, because I was appreciating now I can promote my parties, which I won't promote all the way to Houston, what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the reach.
The reach.
Yeah,
I got people in Houston
that see what
that's
you
coming
get ready
to me.
yeah.
Like, they were like, well, he funny. His eyes. And I'm like, hold on, you from Houston? I was like, oh my God. I ain't got to drive. If I get a CD or something, I don't got to drive to Houston. I was so like, oh boy, this is it. That was the first stage. Now when they started monetizing,
right,
I was like, oh, I hit all the social media people like, bro, let's do this, do this. I said, man, we finna take over. I said, we'll come together, but nobody ain't see it, but I knew it. And I'm like, if the advertiser money was on TV and everybody's eyes is on social media now, where you think the advertiser gonna put the money at?
But there's nothing there to teach you. That's, I guess, if we go back to 2014, everybody is not seeing where we are now. 10 years ago.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I've
been in that Bible since 2012. I done read it 9 times since then. And every story I give somebody, like, for instance, this story, what's going on with television and social media.
Yeah.
You remember when Saul in the Bible, he had lost, he could feel the power of God had left him and went to David. But the people didn't know why, because Saul still had the castle. He still had people working for him. So that's what television was. But I'm like, common sense. Saul killed 1,000, but David killed tens of thousands. If I walk past everybody and they on their phone, TVs is a scam. Nobody ain't watching that stuff. You can't trick me like we watching it. I don't care who you tricking. I'm like,
you are more aware than the average, though.
That Bible program your mind, man. That Bible is a programmer. See, people don't understand. It's like reading ingredients. You might not understand it. It's like if you take a pill for your knee. Right? You don't know how that pill went from your mouth and it made your knee feel better.
Right.
So that Bible really programmed you, man. I picked it up 2012, and ever since then, I was always able to see what's finna go on in the future. And I always be correct a lot of times. Like, but it's really, but it's already what's in us. It goes back to common sense. That's all the Bible, like, it's common sense. Like, you gotta bring your family. It's common sense. If everybody watching social media,
this is what's gonna be popping.
This is what's about to be popular. Everybody
but
be like,
common sense ain't so common. I know you heard that before.
Because I think the devil's a hard worker, man. The devil work hard. He's a hard worker, and he want to make it complicated. The devil take math this way. God take math this way. The whole thing in algebra and math, it taught us to simplify. That's all those formulas was for. To take 50 over 100 and turn it to 1 over 2. The devil take 1 over 2 and turn it over 2,000 over 4,000. He complicates.
I hear a lot of your bass and a lot of you talk. I never really hear nobody really talk about, like you just were talking about the Bible. There seems to be a very spiritual side of Kountry Wayne.
Everybody know it. They just don't want everybody. That's what everybody really see, but they're scared to ask it because it's like.
And maybe it's because it's apparent. You can tell in the things you're saying. It seems. I don't want to say it seems all Bible based. None of us perfect, right?
Yeah, none of
but
us.
It seems like some of your teachings are very spiritually motivated.
Yeah.
The way you take care of your family, the way you take, even if it's an ex now, but she got a baby, the way you take, just certain things seem based. Again, we all make mistakes, but it seems based. And the way you can sit out there and you can spit quotes and, verses from the Bible and understand this part of the Bible. Is that a part of Kountry Wayne's stories when he is on stage as well?
Yeah, all of it, man. Even David left all his baby mamas and never dealt with them again and took care of them. Like all the stuff really in the Bible.
He said it's in the Bible, y'all. Just read it
every
once in a
piece of
while.
game came out the Bible. And people, I'm not a preacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm not none of that. I'm just a reacher. And I know, one thing I know, I've done something I haven't seen a lot of people do. I made it out of the streets with a gun, then never had a snitch, ain't never go to prison. My whole family went to prison. I went the same phone I was traffic that they were calling at the same phone I went viral on.
Yes, sir.
I went from a negative fast money went to a positive faster money. So I seen the miracles of what we want in the streets without breaking the rules. I ain't never had to shoot nobody. I ain't have a gun because I knew I'd shoot somebody. That was the Bible. The reason why I didn't have a gun because I knew I don't fear nothing, but I'm scared. A scared person to shoot you. Bro, you ain't finna walk up me in the club with your fist balled up like some biscuits. Hell no, pow. You not finna embarrass me in front of all these women. Everybody, ooh. And I wake up, so I didn't own a gun because I knew I was gonna use it.
I dig it.
So it's like,
at least you know.
So it's like that Bible, man. I don't know how the devil tricked us not to read it.
Why do you think you didn't follow in the footsteps of your uncle and your father? Like you speak about, hey, your daddy's there, and yeah, he was a gangster. He did what he did.
Yeah, he wasn't no gangster, but
yeah, well, he did what he did, so to speak. I ain't gonna say you did not, but it seemed like at some point you veered off the lane. Why do you think you were able to do it? Because most people, they follow in the footsteps of their family, and it's hard for them to break cycles. So you're the one in the family that has now officially broken the cycle. How?
I think before that Bible, my family was the Bible. And I think by me not judging my father and my uncles and my mama, I was able to get more off them than all my cousins because they told us the game. My uncle, my daddy told me, my auntie Wanda told us never do drugs because every one of us is a gateway to another. So I was scared as hell. I'm like, man, because I'm seeing how they was talented and gifted. So they was giving us game, but everybody else was judging them. So they like my auntie, if other children or my sisters, them be like, they drank out of y'all. When I grew up, I'm never gonna be that. I'm like, man, we just like them. Yeah. I knew I was just like my mom and daddy. So what I did, I listened to them. I was getting game from my grandma. I used to go sit on the porch, talk to my grandma for like how granddaddy was. So I had a granddaddy, he was a real good person, but he was lazy. So I knew that lazy gene was in me, so I was able to fight.
I
like,
dig
bro,
it.
my daddy gambled. Yeah. So I still work from casinos because I'm gonna lose. So I knew learning from listening to your grandma and them and your granny and aunties them, even the one who owned drugs in the family. Ask them how they got there, like what happened, and they gonna tell you that whole story.
But you listened.
You got
most people, but most people don't. Mr. Wayne, most people don't.
Most of the young generation,
they hear the words and like, that can't happen to me.
I'm
bigger
than
judging.
That's right, because they think, get out your crackhead stuff. I can't stand you. You need to ask him, how did he become a crackhead? What was so good? I was so scared of that dope, because anything made me feel that good. And I don't care about my teeth. Hell no.
He said my teeth.
Man, damn. Hey, so I think it came from, if I sit here and talk to you, I'm going to listen to you. I'm like, man, the radio, I already listened to your story. You came here. You said, I left one time, came back, you know what I'm saying? And your work ethic, I'm a listener, and I listen to people. So I don't judge them. I think people judge their family, and they end up just like them in the end. Or they fight not to be like them because now, you know, I got some family members. I'm gonna say my cousins. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? My cousins, my sister, them. They judge everybody in the family because my family drink. My family's the biggest drunks in America, and everybody judge them. But guess what my family do now? The younger cousins stuff. They're trying not to be quote unquote who went to college, trying not to be the drunks. They create a situation every weekend to get drunk. So they trying to fight not to be like them, but they end up like them because they judge them.
What could you tell people, because you grew up in a small town. I mean, I know you had some connections with ATL and stuff like that, but you grew up in a small town. I know in you believe, and I believe this too, because I'm from a place called Fayetteville, North Carolina. Okay, I know in these small joints, like you said, all you can do, because I watch other interviews, you over here, all you can do a hunch on somebody, right? Or you got dope over here. What can you tell people in these smaller pockets? Yo, you got to get out that space and dream bigger, because obviously you was dreaming bigger than the small quarters that you were in, and you believed that you could be in Houston, Texas today, and you can go to New York, and you can have a house in LA, you can do all these incredible things. Most people can't see, they don't have the ambition, and they can't see outside of that box. When you get an opportunity to talk to people in these smaller places, these smaller spaces, what do you tell them to motivate them to like get out of this spot?
Well, they got social media now. So we ain't have social media, so they can see Houston. So I just tell them, man, at the end of the day, now they just got to do the natural stuff. Don't be scared to be hated. It's best to be hated in the beginning and loved in the end, but loved in the than to be loved in the beginning and hated in the end. When you on the right track, bro, you gonna be hated. Like right now, just me coming up in the comedy game, a lot of people love me, but I got a lot of haters.
You do,
because the end of the way I'm coming up, even dudes. They be hitting me up like, bro, you telling me to take care of my baby mama. Now my baby mama asking me, goddamn, take care of me like Kountry Wayne take care of his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gonna be hated. You got to be okay with be hated. And I always wasn't scared to be hated because I use these. You know what I'm saying? I always a fight and whatever the situation, but you got to be willing to be hated. You can't be liked all the time.
But you know what? A lot of people can't handle that.
They can't handle
even
it.
in my game, I know there was a lot of people that didn't like me. And you got to suck it up.
You got to suck that up, bro.
It's hard, though.
Because that's when you're on your way. When you get hated, when I know these comedians were hating on, when I came out, I was the most hated social media comedian from the OGs.
Well, they didn't understand how y'all was doing what y'all was doing.
But they hated me more because I had their audience. They hated them, but they rocked with them. They was worried about me because it's like, hold up, Auntie don't like Kountry Wayne. That was their problem. I was getting their audience. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody thought I was older.
So how did you deal with that hate? And people, man. By the way, some of those people that hate you or hated you don't know what their situation is now. Are people you probably grew up admiring.
Admiring.
So how do you look at those same people now who still despise you and they don't respect the way Kountry Wayne has come up and the way he's become his own enterprise?
Man, to be honest, dog, the gift I always had, my sister said she had to get anything from me, she'll want this. I say, I don't care. I ain't give a damn.
Do you really? I mean, these might be people that you really admire. Or how do you not just F them?
Cause, man, I'm trying to feed these kids. When you got child support, man, I ain't studying. I couldn't even care. I can't pretend like I care.
So you can't even act like you. If I did care, if you did care, you still can't care.
I entertain if they say something, because I'm like, all right, at the end of the day, man, like I say all the time, man, a lot of comedians, if they was so funny or so good, where they fans at? Like, bro, if you've been out here that long,
why they worried about you?
Like, you supposed to be having them. Come on now, it's at some point, numbers ain't gonna lie.
I think here's what it is. I think
it's the fans who be lying to them. Fans ain't told, brother, everybody on Def Jam wasn't funny.
Oh, wow.
You go back and look at the clips, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's go back and look at the clip, but everybody wasn't funny. Because Eddie Griffin said it best, this comedy game got a way of sifting who's good and who ain't. I tell everybody out here, bro, them social media comedians, them Desi Banks, them B. Simone's and Jess Hilarious and DC Young Flies and Carlo Miller and Chico, bro, they there for a reason. I've been around all them personally. They're funnier than everybody of the new generation. Drewski, all of them. Trust me. I know people think they can go on, they could do that, man. When I say they comedic timing, we all...
Well, they just think y'all social media comedian. They don't think that you can get on the stage, Turn it out. I know you got a Netflix. Yeah, I know you got a Netflix special.
Yeah, and you ain't see. And one thing, if I would have born on that special, it would have been all on the news. Kountry Wayne born, but you ain't here since I didn't born.
It was silent.
You ain't here to love.
It was
but
silent.
I know they couldn't do what I did. What I did on stage, a lot of comedians couldn't do. Man, I did it without cursing. First of all, who the hood finna watch it ain't cursing? I got Peanut out in the crowd and Auntie Shirley from the church, cause I got a cadence that fit to take time. I do my comedy like a rapper. I step on my jokes. You know what I'm saying? I don't let the joke pause and be like, yeah.
Wait on it for a minute.
I got a new style. And kind of, it's like Lil Baby. It's a new style. Like, you know that I'm getting, you know that I'm ready, you know that I'm petty. This how I do it.
And that's how your comedy is.
Yeah, comedy goes however music is at the time. That's how comedy. It's all in sync.
Has any of the old heads come to you and say, man, I respect what you're doing?
Kevin Hart hit me up. Cedric the Entertainer. Mike Else, I went on tour with Mike Else and all that, but I ain't too many comedians but hit me up.
Does it hurt you when they don't look at you on equal footing? Again, it still doesn't bother
I never was excited about the level they reached.
Really?
Yeah. So
there was no comedian that inspired you, moved you, or was it just plain? I think I'm funny and I think I can do this.
Man, I'm gonna tell you how serious I am about this comedy. It's an OG comedian. Me and him cool too. We was on the phone. He said, man, I hate me. He said, I be hating when the other OG comedians talk about y'all, man. He said, I like you, DC, all y'all. Now, do I think y'all can beat me on stage? Hell no. And he kept talking.